it's yet another wonderful day, and then so you share mu ewo Gospel 101. My name is Evelyn Selassie, as usual, and then so you den komotwetwe emu yehwam na ebrewo. On today's episode, you besha why Adventist especially enya nomination when it comes to the Ghana Music Award. Me guess ewa ha say ende yeba bedi nkomo yie pa enti jebre na hweyen. You can go on YouTube and on TikTok. We are Gospel 101. Now I share your videos. Now I like it as well. I have here with me Mr. Samuel Kofi Ajiman. He is an entrepreneur and the secretary for the Musician Union of Ghana since 2023 till date. Next to him is Obeng Stephen Nyako, popularly known as Lucas. He is also a nurse, a sound engineer, and a musician. Mr. Ni Aite Hamon would be joining us on Zoom. He is a former head for the production team at Charterhouse. He is now with the Hope Channel Ghana, an Adventist channel. Ewo Ghana has say GDE pa. Ebusia for me mamu nyina makwaba.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you say na ye ho ye wo Yesu?
Nyankopon adom.
Right. Okay. And that's the amidi can introduce your topic no. Ye behwe de ntia Adventist especially enya nominations when it comes to the Ghana Music Award. Minim say ya dia eha adwen ye pa isan say I know they are putting a lot of effort when it comes to music na you know. But ye nim de ntia eba ne sa enti ye bedi ehon komo. But before ye beba discussion this no, ye be kwa akwohwe na see video odi winning the Gospel Artist of the Year. Ye ba ye den komo twetwe ne beto aso. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yes, I'm feeling bad, but I get a
Share was a performance from Nasi. Recent TGMA course so yeah in a performance or yeah in fact why I dear you pa ebusia for video ya share. What do you think about it? Say na musi hu no. Mr. Hammond, starting with you.
Oh, it was I would say good evening to viewers and listeners across. It was a very good performance. It brought the artistry in Nasi, and I think it was a good representation of the gospel industry during the awards.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at.
Hello. Performance, you know. TGMA, na me should be, but me feel mudai. We man see na mahu. and it was fantastic. Like a different style altogether. And I wasn't expecting it, and I'm here, so in fact, yeah, sure.
Mr. Sami Faisi.
Ediga mechi ahwefo ni etifo. Media na me wo bi nti.
Okay.
Obi se gani na bra na si pie. Ne krofo no di nanim ba na obi ante ase ade ana omopese omoye. In fact, so wo na nyese ye boldin say na si na be perform ya. Wonyini se ono na eba. Se brass band di nanim be boye. Ansa no no anka se pie film ba hwe se ne omo ebe saaye no omo be display na afi ode ne nwom no ebe to aso enwom no kra no hwe di wi a osi born wo ho no a uhu se oyi ni muniema nyina de ba ma ye hu se gospel music no so yebetumi adane no kwan bi so a ebetumi aso afoforo nyina ani emfa se wo ye kristoni na wo nye kristoni fa na efe.
In fact, meaning so be Okobi be any G pa. Yes, I offer share and so it was so good. Now, yeah, by a demo in the Adventist setting. What is the purpose of Adventist musicians?
Ye ra maybe that one before a drum to a drum. But I didn't know say they can't Onyankopon asemaji akra. Into say the Adventist musician bia na say me da kwa hini nwum to ni bia no o ye ne nwum a na uhu say preaching ye ade a o kasa na ode atwe akra aba Onyankopon tanti ya de ye ni nyina kwa crusade ene asonde mo say ye to ne de akasa kira safoma. That is the main purpose as the musicians no.
Okay. Mr. Hammond, please, your intake on that.
Unfortunately, I'm not a musician, so I cannot speak really for Adventist musicians, but probably what I've come to know might not be so different from what the General Secretary spoke about. The fact that for most Adventist musicians, the focus is actually to share the gospel. You get me? And so I always try to find it difficult, when they say Adventist musicians, because really we're looking at musicians generally. You get me? And they are musicians, and everybody's interest may vary. You might have some musicians who are Adventists who don't play gospel music, but they are Adventists and they play good music. So everybody would have a purpose, but mainly you realize that for most of the music that we consume, it is evangelistic in nature.
Okay. Lucas, me share that na me de ucha because me nim say wo de wa produce enjum bebre. Wo de wo system nim ti. What say the aye kana see ye pa. Ye ka say Adventist musicians are more purpose any sing. And what kind of songs do you produce? Why sound engineer?
Okay. And so we share the me bra mo and me papa mo yakanya. The main purpose of an Adventist musician is autonomy. Ne say what they can Nyankopon ho asem atwe afoforo. Se ne be afoforo beti Onyankopon enka. And untina most Adventists autonomy. But we have other Adventist musicians apart from that, it will be more honoma omo de aje omo a business. Into that aspect, and so apart from say yes, shaman crofo atinyame asem no, it's also a business for some of the musicians. Into producers in the a produce nyame mu enyom nyame ho njom and mostly in Adventist bebre their purpose ne say omode kanyame sem na fe sene e kan say ne oye nyankopon adwuma no odidi na adwuma ho na aboa ewoda aspect ne so.
Into uka say why producer Adventist for never produce nyame ho nsɛmɛndwom no said ya Mr. Hammond kind no ka say bi mo hon ma dia Adventist but omumbo nyamendwom. So doesn't mean say nipa no ye Adventist no ba na enye nyame ho asɛm said ya wo ka say o produce na doesn't mean say un producing ndwom e manana.
No. I'm a producer and mostly I'm not an Adventist producer. And yet Adventist for nkwa na me ye wo modwom. There are other churches and there are people who even don't believe. Cry say baby side ewo ho. And the basa aspect in there is a business. Me intino obi ba no nye or Adventist no so ma to Adventist ho dwuma. That's what be two different thing me ya man. Why not?
Okay, because sika no na wo hwe e na ye we dwuma wo ye tie no na wo hwe. Right. Okay. And to say ayen hwe, do Adventist musicians produce for the mainstream media? And I say obi aye na ade kakrebi. Lucas, so besa so fe no ama ye bio.
That's it. A fan baby no etisa. And a fan baby so entisa. And say mostly no obiya ya juma wo ye ne se o ye ama enipakuo bi.
Okay.
Intino obiya won a target and I said targeted fans kofukuo bi a wo sheda ye na adwen se wo de nwom no ye dai ma omo. Inti wo ebi wo nso a enwom ne ye ne se ye yama obiya atibi. Inti Adventist musicians ni bi wo honoma omo kind of songs a omo ye no say ye na fe obi a opese wo tie nwum ni bibia ye dai aye ebi mo no nso aka no in fact omo de ama some particular people bi to say me yam Adventist for nko atie obi tie bia ye de but ube hu say Adventist for no e tie no more than sane ebi mo wa abontin no etie no.
Okay, all right. Mr. Hammond, coming to you. We have categories, main categories when it comes to the Ghana Music Awards. Can you take us through that? What is the process and then what criteria do you guys look out for?
The process is quite simple. You know, the Ghana Music Awards has about 35 or 36 categories. And we have, it's a popular-based awards. So we have those that we call the public and those we call the industry. And so every year, at the beginning of the year, an advert is put out and then the various categories are put out for artists to submit their works. And so when these works are submitted, there's a deadline. Once these works are submitted, after the deadline, then we have the board who now goes through the various submissions. But even probably before the board, we have what we call our research team, who apart from the submissions that have been done by the artists, also look at productions that have been done within the year under review. And they supply all this content plus the work that they've done to the board. And the board looks at all these materials and does the categorization and then puts out the final results for public to vote. And the ones that are industry-based, just the public and the academy. But for the ones that are public-based, we have the public, academy, and board voting. And for the industry, we have the board and the academy voting.
Oh, okay. Mr. Ajiman, your name so name music, right? Yeah. Aye, ejuma for some time. Yeah. And we mean say we who Adventist musicians be brave, we need be brave aye ejuma. When you ye ejuma no net sing.
Senia na ye kano kane no de nanka obi ye nwumu a ose medi Kenya nkopon asem senia edi kan no. Ba ye kwa ni mo no so ye realize say enwuma a ye to no so ye betum de aye ejuma. Na ibetima didi ho enti ibimu ehya ase eye niema bi a gugu akwam ebetumi aboama adwuma na omoye no sika atumi abam enti free fancy bia the late 90s eba no de who say Adventist in binum emeki conscious effort say nyoma mo de ba no nye crusade nkunti na Sunday munti omo bebo modern say omo betumi advertise kakra no muso enye din a ebetumi abo omo mo tumi enya bibi kakra fidum mti bi mo eye ade kakra but not to the extent ebetumi de akọ drew TGMB.
Hey, not to the extent say.
Yeah, because senior na Mr. Hammond chechiri mo no say ebetumi a select or na nominate wo no say we are conscious, a very straight and a conscious effort to make us who said that this see when so say if say me do yeah be say me do sabotage on no so no there was so many responsibilities be aye kwa animo no ye be chirichirim enom na betumi aboa mu atima kudru sabotage no nti me hu say me nuanom adwumtofo a wo me da konfo sumu no etumu ye that conscious effort no I betumi di omadru sa bia no.
And the Lucas maybe also no doesn't mean say the way motro monjum na motro nyum na what are some of the factors that goes into it?
Okay. Anyo motro no bibia esopa. Ansa kra na obehya ase se obetwe nyum no. Also hu ne se nemdi kan na nyum no hemfo na mde koma mo. Me ya ma SDF anasa me ya ma wiasefo nyina. Ena afi also me hu se reading ben am pesa me de manwum no. Melody ben ena me nya free sa anwum no. Afi ensem ben ena me beka ewo nwum no. Nti wo hwa we no nyina ye enwum a wo se as a musician no o consider answer. But ye hwe memenda akwanhwefo in particular ye nim nkrofo bebra omonya memendafo a omani gi SD enwum ho ba bisa ho se dodo sen dodo sen na omani agi SD enwum ho pa so ofa ne phone se woko internet oko YouTube oko Apple Music oko Audiomack oko search se me ko search for Lucas enwum ana me ko search for Makanim Ywenchi enwum nti no ekamia ye se yen nwum no ye wo some targeted fans bi a eye SD4 ene ye yema wo mo nti no se wo hwe nkyiremu a Mr. Hammond eye open to obia
Okay.
Obia betimi atie nwum no because
upa atrese no ho na akaye kakra
akaye bebre akaye bebre
okay
because you are restricted that is the word you are restricted and all restricted who to that hono so dia ebeyedin
enkwetire
ebeyedin
de bia na eti
jina na yebeto na sorry dem yebeba abonten SDF bebre na betie so hu but yemisa ye ho say SDF nko ana ye nwum na mo ana ye mission is say we will spread the gospel to the world. Yes, ye de ko wiase afa na nyina yen ka se ni pakuo bi titiri bi but I was say yes na be ya saafo no so betimi atie ye nwum ni bia omo so be ye omani beje ho.
Okay. And coming back to you, Mr. Ajumano, said ya Lucas Kano. Patre say music Kano. Most more criteria and as a more procedure process be a module of fame and a module mobile just say ya won't jump 90 and one no.
Okay, music as a union and I say.
Yeah.
Oh, music dear, say already union or homa adjuntifo nyina. Found only baby or found only general general say gospel or gospel crowd I don't consider the general but high life or hip hop or whatever ye the umunyina ye members and here we don't look at those aspects the animal say o ye dwumtuni ye kuwa ye bo adwumtufo nyina ho ban for their welfare so we don't consider once you a musician what that onye obi ode nwuma ba out there bi obi bi o ye nwum ho adwuma bia wo aso ndem kra na wo bo clips wo na abo maracas una ho so akasa una abɔ drum una abɔ keyboard we a musician adwuma bia we be a fa nwom to no you can be part of music. But coming back to the na menuane kano edu ba bia me difa kakra from the all kan kyerese metim say kaye kwamre ho na ye ka enwom ba bia sha ase stages I go through SDA music in particular e dia busy sabran ke bia betem ase time o se bo aten no me obi di se ban ne mi ka mi saban ne wa free mu na me fa ne cleanse ono obo ugidi agi hunkwa ugidi agi hunkwa I say this particular song enei say wutie kora afo no a ebi kra de aye kora omoto what I say in those days ansana sabi no se bo aten na oto no nto kora na oto kotet nwum ne ade safo nyina nwum no a develop abedu mre bia ebedu cheba afo no so star ni chance sai eba John missionaries Emmanuel won say mre bi na Emmanuel kra no sabi obedu apeteshi ba kra ne yebo so ampon so eba ono so de bi ba fifa mu be chisa star no de pesa me kan say aya na so because SDA for nwum a yes because edin SDA no de ma ye dance no say ye two bass ye two soprano alto tenor two bass yetime to abra ye mfa instruments bi akura ndem ne ye bo malakas ne clips obi ate ase nipa ni je saa nyem anwum ni nyina ho but then me de me hu ye the marketing aspect of your dwuma ye je no wo de wo hwa sende me number bia na me ka se me SD ni nwumtuni a nipa ye bi kan boni din ye ampon kwadwampon adentia kwadwampon e hya ase no ekodu mre bi se nyame ye nadoma ni nya producer na ote adwuma nase enti o promote no very well oh yes ona come do on sa anwom no osana the man marketed the song. He had a conscious effort say obe market nwom no ama nwom no akọ yes ana gidi ejidi emi hu ni say enwom de emfa ho ne nea wo be yadwum bi kura wani na so say be but say wutimi de marketing strategies bi gu akwan mu na wo ton nwom no mawiase a nyina edwom no ebeto ni petim na ebefa eno ni ba bia SD adwumtofo no bibire no ye lucky e manwom no nkonani.
Okay. So being part of the board, no, Mr. Ajman in his submission was saying, so when it comes to the music now, Obia is welcome. They hear say wabonyum. Na me bisa say when it comes to Ghana Music Awards, Nenswa, is that how it is? Is it say more particular songs be a echo for nomination and na jumbia Obia bobia mutimi choose man echo for nomination?
So with the music awards, your categories.
Okay.
So once your song is eligible for the year under review, I mean you can look at the category that you believe you fall in, whether hip life, high life, gospel, Afro pop, Afro beats. You know, it depends on where you believe you do, but all songs. All forms of songs come in because there are other categories that might not necessarily be genre specific. For example, if you take record of the year, it is the song. So it's irrespective of genre, but it could be any song in terms of, let's say, the record of the year. And so it is open to all songs, not any particular kinds of songs.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that musicians do music for people to consume. I doubt if musicians, in terms of Adventists who are musicians, do music just for Adventists to consume. Everybody has a base in terms of your music. The music business, everybody has a base, and so obviously if you are an Adventist, your base obviously would be the church because that is where you're coming from. You get me? That is why, for example, you might have the other gospel musicians, you know, Dana Hamilton. You get a bass being Pentecostal because that is where she's coming from. You get me? Every artist will have a bass, but you produce music. Gospel music is supposed to be consumed by all. So you produce music that will be consumed by all. So you must first solidify your base and then now see how you grow out of your base to other avenues so that you can be able to reach wider, because nobody wants their music to just remain in a small sect, I believe.
Okay, thanks so much. My next question now, me baso no. Well, me the me no me say that mum, but it be say was say me bisa. It was say me bisa.
Yeah.
Has any Adventist musician been nominated in the Ghana Music Awards before?
Yeah.
Oh, sir.
Sure.
You mean say that?
Kojampon was nominated on C.
Oh, okay.
And on Isaac.
Show boy.
Yeah. Akukofunu was nominated.
Oh, okay.
Too. And for Brakwajo Eddie. Meaning say you're nominating so many times. But say already there.
I know they want. Mr. Ajiman, nothing who baby.
Yeah, send your kind of credit. I quite remember say sometime be omo nominating and no cry no category no the court to us and me kaya. Say choral for I said that was but me kai say you nominating. Unze me kai say me can asem.
Yeah.
Say o hwe senia ono no onya obi a obi pushi no na waboa no no. Eneni na ekura no say ugura bia is either Kojampon or Makeni Mirinchi. But omu nyina so minim conscious of me Kaiser Mark bra ye fache no. Samre na radio stations ye said that disika at good boot that we move from one radio to radio, one place to place. Na ye chesi kama
just for them to promote the song.
Yes. No? Na ye honti obi bia odire ne ho make effort kakra se obe promote ne nwom no erade so adom wo mu benya din kakra se ne ne hu won enye se kwa ha ye onipa bebre a omiro obi ti se ba fo chi ono so minim pa se he had a producer na ono so ye adwuma no ye fe ne dwon agbenu ona no produce yasapon some of yasapon ni nwum bi no enti no no so nim adwuma no mu enti tawa cheba for the ohia fita eni noa eba abonten no this man also tried to promote cheba for somehow enti ma change be ye che on enti na meka na me de aba besi saade no so enti ye mu bebre wo hono mu a yo mu ye ya but ye nya piafo a momentum ampia enti hu but the me person me can't that was a nyum bia ye betwere emfa ho say ye SD nyum emfa ho sane ye sitie metimi a pointi nyum bia ka wo kra no woni ma ba me person me bodin kasa nyum we de kra keni kwa say nyum ni gidin kra but enam say promote nyum no wo media nti no e ma eto amanfo tim na abegidin nti saa de no ne ade a ha emwa ma yintu na nya nyum na ye twere nyum de unya twere beto abonten ewiase nyina ade a obi atimi tibi nda se be ye beka nipa adwinim na ama atumi akono no ne ade a ehia na no ni promotion no aye ka ho ase.
Okay, Mr. Hammond, which other ones can you add up?
Oh, if you follow, even this year an Adventist got nomination. You know, Lordina was nominated in the best female vocal performance. Okay. You know, so I mean, you know, for us, we don't, as in the TGMAs, we don't look whether you are Adventist or you are Pentecost or you are. We look at you as a musician. You get me? That is it. We look at you as a musician, and so Emmanuel, the song Emmanuel also that year got nomination, if I'm not wrong. You know, yeah. What it is that because it's a popular music awards, your song must be popular, or you must have something that is instrumental in the technical awards, that is the industry awards. For example, like Lordina having to be nominated in the female vocalist of the year. Yeah.
All right, sure. Okay, right. Ya kanina minim say eto asumie pa. Enti se si a ukasa no you were saying say branding any promotion no eka ho eno na ofili say ma ye ntumi enko eni.
Yes, and I can add other things.
Okay.
I will say memenda for asafo no so conscious and so serious with our beliefs. Enti na eno so count to kwan bi so ema adwomtofo no ka won hye na de enti na me ka ne sa. One, nyumtuni bia o me da kwanfo asafo mu no se asafo no tie me pa na e be ka no kra. We think said the musician and the group belongs to the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enti anamobi wo na se wutu na wanhwe ne yie na wo de wani hwe se de wo benya no wo ewiase a na asafo no so ene wa benya ehawo. Me kai pa se one se mi kura se wo be ko ba bia koye programmer kane pa no se asafo na ma wo kwan a wuntumi nko. Me personally, me was experience. Se me kura me nyum tukuo. Na at that time na me was school. Ewo bekwai SD. Na ye crusade. Ena ye pedwum to fo. Ena obi anu se agyeman so ewo nyum to fo mo ya de pa crusade. Tade ntina mo nkofo mo mra no mo mebo ma crusade ni nkoso. Me ye ya me koya no ni maso asama masore kan mo se ya ntwere a mesi Kumasi Central kona me obi am fan free Central esa mi school ni di basic Central Ghana Conference na Central Ghana Conference de ba Midwest Ghana Conference na Midwest Ghana Conference de ba me district na me district de ba me local ansa na o mama kwan no kra na ya tena se ama kwan se me nkoye program in fact in the end no nyame nkwan ki etumi senye enti edu ba bia asore no chichire as enyumtuko ne de hye ne motuam enti ba bia yesen ko tu na mo kona obetimi anya ne din no ontumi ena even cross wo ye video na wo so wo ne ma bia se na see video se na efe na wan hwe ne yie na akofa nkrofo bi edi begu video numu asafo no be fra ka cho se na we di omu firi hin na ade ombe hye mu mi kai se Emmanuel John missionaries video bi no mo share that far professionals o mo sa edi omo ba be back won na asaba e ba video no ho no ba ko ameka pa se na bi mu kra wo mu a chain ni asoma division se fo na mo ya nwum na obi wa kira o sa krofo no so mo ya professionals o mo nya Adventist so it brought a lot of issues, controversies. Enti do bia na ama dwomtofo na ye wo mu no ye koye bibia ebe pagya yan na esuro fisa anhwe yi a wasori pani sofo be fra ka say hey ede na wo ye no enti eno so ema ye ntume match eni yafo na ewo other side no enko ade ba ko atwi asabam.
Right, okay. Ebusiafo de adru no we will go for a music break. Ye ba ye den komo twetwe no beto aso. Stay tuned.
Radinche na kwaji awonti mafa Yesu minya wodi adie se okraba ko sajira na bia abofo pimpim na to ahrusi dwum tino tenemba
Lucas music.
Wani yakatu ya nuhu Udu machadi ya ne dankwa Eso papa mi pesa mi ya nu mintumi Nabonia mi penu Nuna miyo Eso wakanu unsim Se Yaka mfum swachira wuna Dini njina befriye Obeti ya fini antini njina Washansemi Tina mapai Washansemi Tina mapai Umimo Somebody tell me, umi oh, somebody tell.
Ebusia, you are welcome back. We are still on Gospel 101. And June video, share was a song by Lucas. Lucas, coming to you. In June video, we also was to saturate this style. What happened? When your inspiration be Nema, oh yes, and I said that oh she so many nominations.
And you may check a crack.
Okay.
I could be 4 years.
4 years since a year by now
releasing last year.
Last year. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Na me ye nyum no me ye na hodo bebre. Initially no na madam Fubi ene ye say o me aye. Na ekire no na ehu abanimu.
No so you Adventist.
No so you Adventist.
Okay.
Ehu banimu say ade ya me be ye de abaya nhwa me nya problem.
Sir, what is wrong with the song? Is it style Nintiana?
Yes, I don't know. I can the style and then the beat.
Hip hop. Okay. And I said,
hey, in fact, I know buy microphone to Nidin Bebre. And video you cry me try, you know, it wasn't planned. But me I said me yeah, na me dey too many ahwe.
Okay.
Last year me release here and I made it to social media. And I got a lot of response.
Was it negative and positive?
Both negative and positive.
Okay.
And you were trending on TikTok, baby. And I'm a crane man so. And I'm Mama Brown posted this song on the page. GH1 TV Eddie show. Because you Sheldon posted this on Twitter.
I didn't go to any of them. No.
Because they title it as SDA drill.
Okay.
SDA drill. And me akrana na ya me nwanwa. And that negative aspect, you know, it came from yeni aye ho. That is
maybe so campo say enjom ne buy no ni asori ni nya problem because Mr. Jumane kasa no kase asori ni chichiri e bebre to send the experience no ni share no. Enti won so buy no, how was the response from the church?
Okay, me asori no enya problem.
Okay.
But the problem I got, you know, was from people in the church, you know.
Okay.
And I'm no munya problem no. Because obi create me frame make say my bonyum bebre but we dey ask honhom nim. Yes. Minya that response in bebre but I don't know embu mabem and I know say senior anyway enya impact, you know. It got a lot of impact and me say microphones when e ho. Okay. Yeah, as time goes on. You
are still standing in sure. Mr. Juman, in Lucas in Jum video, what do you think about it?
Me say nyum.
Oh,
who no ndia he say asem na o ka no na yeti na ya hwe nia opese message opese odema. Nti ana the when say SDA no do na make no nya ka say we SDA ni dwumtuni a asafo na expect say obehu yen style bia e be kire
na ko fast someone
and the say eji unim say beat no so ekasa
okay
ni the way isi ekono no ekasa mo say SDA fo nwum no ana akoye se typical high life ke na bia na bia ka na marakase no edim na yebehu se all pass no ye adwuma na asema wo ka no so ka benya soprano ato alto ato ne de bass ato ne de tenor ato ne de na ye hu ni sana afi mpebi dum se mire bi kra no minim se ne wo ho a enche ka wo wie nwuma before we be release no e say the call conference ema conference wo panela on betena se etie dwom no na o mama comment nti se o mu tie dwom na se dwom no mo ni nyi ho betuma ka se dwom we die yentimi ma mfa ma there is oko USD din free so nti na make ni nyina e ka ho bi by nenu ekwani mu se lunch no kude twam nti ne de obe social media nti we wan say nyom no bakra wo mfa nkosa me ko lunch ana me koye no wan say wo de ato social media ka wei Say kane no a lunch nwum no am ga say nwum we nke be block no emma. So but then nanka eye say no na say Lucas should nya a conscious effort say me pese me de dwum we eje award eno de ho adwuma wo ho what you say ho adwuma wo ho sibia ekwamba say me ncheche ma I can go down and then explain but
next question Mr. Hammond say ye share Lucas endrum na ka obetumi enya nomination e Ghana Music Award.
Okay, before I remember Lucas, you know, somewhere, no, many General Secretary, in the sense that, you know, if you want to come out with the name of the church as part of you, it means then you must go by the church's dictates.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
Now, if you are a musician and you're working as a musician, everything everybody will say is an advice. Nobody can force you to do anything.
Okay.
All they can do is give you an advice. And so the church can give you an advice. You can decide to take that advice or not take that advice. And we must also not forget that if you come from a church and the church has invested in you, obviously you cannot just get up and go anywhere to go and do anything, whether it's a crusade or whatever it is. You must get permission from the church because the church has invested in you. But if you're a musician and you are is your profession, just like somebody's a banker or a teacher or a trader, the church cannot direct you as to what to do with your business. It can only give you an advice. And so it's important that we look at it from that end. And I think we've overflogged this whole narrative of the church tries to block us. No, the church doesn't try to block us, but we should remember that so far as the church invests in us one way or the other, the church also has a say in what we do. If we want to be that free and have that freedom to expand and do what we want to do in terms of music,
then
gospel
we shouldn't
music,
attach the church to whatever we are doing.
No, we shouldn't. The church, we shouldn't be expecting investment from the church into our craft. You get me?
Yeah.
Now, look at Sekasano. Or can say video we cry. It wasn't planned. We just tried something. In music business, you plan everything. You get me? There are times that you plan and what you planned for or what you were looking for, you wouldn't achieve. And what you thought maybe might not be the key thing will be the one that will pass through.
Okay.
But there's always a plan, a conscious effort. You get me? And unlike in the past, now music business, I mean, it's a business. Let's not forget that. So if you want to be a professional musician, well, you see, there are different types of musicians. There are those who they just minister. There are those who do it as a hobby. There are those who do it as part of their ministration.
Okay.
And there are those who do it as a business. And so you must understand what you want to do. If it is a business, then the same way a teacher gives attention to their business, or a businessman focuses on how he's going to get material from China, etc., to do his business, so also you must also invest in your craft. Nobody will come for you at the ground level and invest in you where in about 3-4 years, when it's time for him to reap his investment, you are going to go away. And we've had so many experiences of that. So nobody wants to put their money where they cannot have profit. But then if you invest in your craft, and now the digital world has made it such that you might not necessarily need a lot of money. You need to understand the digital world to be able to know how to use it to manage and to blow your business. Now you ask whether this song can get known. In terms of popularity, I don't think it was that much popular to be noticed by the award scheme. You get me? Because you need to, because you are rubbing shoulders with everybody. You know, it's not, let's say, an Adventist Music Awards, where we are looking at awarding musicians just within the Adventist fraternity. This is Ghana Music Awards, and it's a popularity-based award. So you know that you are rubbing shoulders with Nasi, Dana Hamilton, Perez, Sarkodie, Kim Promise, everybody. You get me? And so once you know you are rubbing shoulders with everybody, you must put in that energy to reach out. You don't look at, you know, for a lot of excuse me to say, Adventist musicians, you know, once, oh, you're bombing you moha, you're matiming you moha, oh, they are happy. Because probably that is what they are looking out for. They are not looking out for the bigger stage. And so what they get, they are happy about it. Everybody is talking about them. When they go to this church, they are talking about them. When they go to that church, they are talking about them. So for them, they've arrived. You get me? But when you look at the other artists, they don't limit themselves with the boundary of their church. Because they are musicians. They need to explore. They need to hit more and to go wider and wider. And so that is what we must focus our energies at as musicians. You get me? Because nobody will when you call Joe Metal, do you know Joe Metal's church? But you listen to his song.
Yeah.
And that is what we must aim at. You get me? That our songs are out there and people are listening. And the message is what we want to send across. So the message goes across.
All right, sure. Okay. So now we've said a lot. Cecilia, you say you who way forward no. Cecilia, baby, I drew no as Adventist musicians. Yes, so Ghana Music Award, you say you got nominations, not just nominations. Said you can and say you bida, but you to me award bia. Now, what is the way forward? Niama Baina as musicians, a bit to me, dear Gua Quima, a bit to me, am I do sa level. Mr. Hammond, you start with that again for me.
The awards is an icing on the hard work that you've done with your music. And so I never advise anybody to do music with a focus of winning an award. The focus of your music must be clear. This music that I'm doing, I intend to win souls out of it. I'm a gospel musician. That is my primary mandate. I must win souls out of it. Now, beyond winning souls out of it, how can I get the music to reach to the people? So I now start thinking about what kind of music, in terms of the style, not necessarily the lyrics, because I know my lyrics, I have what the focus of the lyrics. But now the music itself, am I playing hip hop? Am I playing hip life? Am I playing high life? Am I using reggaeton? Am I using raga? Am I using what I normally call kushka? It is, you sit down and you plan it and you pray over it and you do the production. And after you've done the production, you also do the marketing part of it, because it's not just the production, bringing the music out. No, there's a marketing aspect, there's a business aspect. So you also deal with that aspect. Now, when God blesses you and the song becomes popular, you are likely to get a nomination in the Ghana Music Awards, and you are likely to win an award. But it is not the other way around, doing your music with an intent to win an award. Most likely, you just be worrying yourself.
Oh, okay. All right. Mr. Ajibwe.
That's from my point of view. Yeah.
That's let me say, my main MPK baby kakra, free Mr. Hammond. Say Mr. Hammond ka bibi say asafo no invest wo mu a. Hona na eyemi kakra.
Okay.
He say I've been in this business for more than 35 years. Na me hu baby a asafo no ase dey invest wo SDA musician BM. The only year I met my can say the church has a name that is SDA.
Okay.
Introduce baby na say oka say o to jun be so SDA SDA for the o say mo de mo de ni say ke de ko heaven ke no anam de be ko. But say be a church be ka so invest wo nyuntuni bi mu de menti bi da.
Oh, we be a medwin say church bia ne said ye.
No menti bi da.
Okay.
Because I've been in this business. I've worked with so many Adventist musicians.
Okay.
Me akasanso me won bi. But baby am ne ya adwen ne say and the same thing in America. Once I we hear SDA ni na SDA din that because me group here like seekers of SDA.
Okay.
Inti enko base ebe fese wo ba beto me se me gina baby perform na me ye niema bia ene asafo no nhyehyeye ebabra. So de me chena say ha nti anu ho no me ne ya adwen nti abibi ntina de ye bia no asafo no so so mo hwe no mo can be at the church will not call you as a church but if members send na look as they will call you tell them ne ya adwen perfectly but the church senka asafo no invest wa adwen to fomu a keno so so bia ye nkoma da achi bi ebedi e wo ha nti me ne ya adwen say ye nkoye niema emfra e say once SDA din no die so na so ye can be see the purpose is adinti na ye ntumi nhunu ye se ye nso ye wa anim hobi wa cheche na manu bi mu pa mu da ho se se unya medical aka se adwuma na wo ye no ugitum se eye music business na wo ye na business bia no so anye bia no ye wo budget ye wo manager what you say ye wo nipa bebre wo business ni mu omobo ha adwuma ye wo ha obia wo bibia o ye ma de na koso eno na me kan maka be so ye lake SD adwum to for do sen no bit medin say me wo manager o manage me che say oboa me say metimi akwa ha ye program bi wo ha wawura mu ma wo nso anya kwan wo ko perform wo ho nya sonda edem nko wawura mu ahu say ade we die senka wo ko bi a kebema ye din yanima banyam obema wudin na pija kakra na nso atumi because the purpose of this discussion is how can we get there.
Sure.
And that is why I'm trying to so there should be a conscious effort. Who manager or manage you who budget who plan for the year say fee nyom mi na mpesem de babonte nyom no kwa we na mefa so a me de me lunch me ye mi yipi me ye sei mi wi a sika se na metwa to o se me de bebo nyom no ho me de be ye ho adwuma ye ben advertise ye be hwese TV ye video no kura ye kutwa no enye Lucas de na o ka se o mi de madafo bi na say ye plan say we want this kind of video to TV so a obi a wo hwe bia no ni beje ho say na ye si aye no ye no nyina so na ye de toto ho say ye nkonya positive or negative ayi bia ebe ha but say timi yes ade no a eno de betuma pagya ye but ye ka say ye ne say bi dia to de a ene esi enam mu ano no
say enam mu ano ye nko be bia Lucas
okay nti ye here a big effort. You're putting much effort in it. If say a person you drew honoma. And one thing I was saying to follow, you say no a branding. Say we need to brand ourselves in a certain way. Yansono ubi who and way dear. So a musician we never no. Intino your certain things be I was say Makofi aka assembly for video no. And say video no take much effect because I may see a crana me bo audio no people won't recognize it send ya twa video no nti was ya maye ni so ekoyem video ahodo a yetwa ho wo be hwa na nsen crofort tasre SDA4 concerning our videos so
me just say na say mo ya de pa
very good
na say me who say improvement have been pa as compared to
my first no bon say e be da
yes, I said that music video no crowd muncha. I him for nature.
But you know, I think say afi I was say ye ma ye ni ba ye ho so e was anu ma ni nyina ho because I think say yetimi nominate ni sa anu ma ni nyina so ye dai e ka ho and there are categories be TGM enuma yenas Adventist no so ye betimi adru ho because your gospel artist songwriter collaboration sanoma we nyina no gospel song of the year ni nyina ye ade ase ma ye ne bre se ye adwuma ni ye ne ye ne dia yensu ye betimi adru ho bi.
All right, okay. And to see ade effort na na wo say ye de shim na e ma yetumi ekoyen enim. Ye dri discussion na ye de ba ewiye no. Advice being na more my young people and now Adventist musicians. I also pese omudru sabotay and say me hope say some years to come. Men so men drum ebe to me do some person. Ye body for nominations and men so me din ebe to me our hobby. Mr. Hammond.
We must know first who you are. You must know who you believe, and you must know and understand the work that you want to do in terms of music. You get me? We also need to distinguish. You know, why there's a lot of challenge with us is that, unlike other churches, in the Adventist church, if you are to sing in the church, the musician is not to be seen, but to be heard. Okay. You get me? And so in our churches, when we're having worship, we don't perform. Musicians don't perform. They sing to accomplish or to support worship. In other churches, they perform. You get me? And so if you understand all those things, you realize that, okay, when you're a musician and you have a role to play in church, it is different from when you are doing your business.
Okay.
And you are out there. You get me? You can be a musician, but you support your church through music. And so when you are doing the things in the church house for worship, for example, it will be different from when you're like, let's say the song Lucas played. In a normal Adventist worship setting, we won't play that song.
Yes.
You get me?
Yeah.
But if there is a concert, he will play that song. And so once we identify the differences in where and how we play music and how we can focus on our professional music, I think we'll be going far.
Okay.
You get me? And we must also know and understand that what we are doing is a business. But if, for example, you are not in my church and my church have seen you from your church and they think that there is something that there is, so we are having a program and we invite you, you should be able to charge the church.
Okay.
Are you getting me? You should be able to distinguish business from what you are using your talent to do to support the church.
Okay.
In that way, majority of this blame game of the church would not happen. You get me? And so it is important that once you choose the profession, you must understand the nuances of the profession and work at it effectively.
Okay.
And then know that it is a business. Understand the business. If you need a manager, if you need a road manager, if you need a stylist, if you need a producer, everything that you understand it and you work accordingly. When you focus, you achieve.
Right. Thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you.
Look at fire now, Mr. Ajuman and fire easy.
Okay. Indeed, yaka bebre. Say yena ye ba no. I was putting much effort. Say also obey enwum ne dia. You say ne also menye ana me ye ne say ne ye bia saade. But say also wo ye no aye enwum adwuma ne ye dia. Also the effort dey. Shame. Because yemfa no say wo hwe categories ne na wo hwe the kind of people are omoji award na not to say we have a lot of work to do, a lot of work. And then one thing me dear me susu na me hu ni say ebeboa asafo no nyom to na beboa Adventist musicians na mo makọ manim ne say sanka asafo no ebetimi aye music awards ni biama Adventist musicians nke your best say say every year bia na organize Adventist music awards ama Adventist for
Adventist
in Ghana. Yes, I did not the amount. In fact, in Kababwa Masafunum Yum to an idea, Akoso. May ye Jumana means a ye, not necessarily say may nya award be, and I say menya bibi, but about Bwama Jumano, send was a yen ye, your timia day, ye, menko yum biasa, and I mean fine day. And fama.
And also, Jane said the competition, Baba, and to 41.
Oh, in
now we're a healthy one.
Yeah, in music, you know, there should be a competition. Not in the church in America. Not say be a tuna sorry them in America, but say a tuna
say as Adventist musicians, a PFI are sorry nima.
Very good.
Okay.
I was say young to one who say yet ne bonnet kwansu competition bonnet kwansu. But Ebuama say, Mahu say, Mofa, a juma be, no juman, a juma mofa, ye, send all the effort to shame, Abuaman a drew say, men so, Miss Osam try some smede, meet me a baby, I send a bay idea what drew no, Miss meeting me, do not in your role model.
Okay.
Medas.
All right. Mr. Ajuman.
Yo, Medas, Miniaba. Senia Penifono, Edika, can see a car near the Ababisio. Na me dedin kan medu asafo no efo
okay
me kan asafo na ya asafo emba because ya na ya asafo no ye hu kwan be fa so a ye betumi encourage ya adwomtofo no awu se edu ba bia ana reho asafo na nkasa no enye effort bia me kan asafo to ga wo lance cassette album fa obi timi sia na nwumi mi nya bi o asa de bia egum pass na ochiche but otu ani hwe nuanom a so obi so lanche dwuma de wasafo no de ahokeka ebe ye na omo be pagya na obe wi sika kure be free mu aba no enyi sika ketwa etime
Adventist musicians we are launching as
bebre na chese na bi kura so dan kura wo pa aye wo mu no na edi no kura na me
say sorry dan there say no problem
baby onu mu a jai ko de bi se wo mu no mo kan kire ya na edi men kan fa mo asafo ne but me de sere na me sere ye de ne ye de nti encourage won kwan bebre so obi ba programmer hwe no unse dodo na ntumi emfa nwom ne enye business e chese yensu ye nipa ye wa adwen ya na ebi won ma woni akokodura odi begina criticism asafo ne de ma nti oba kra program na se bia sika bi kra na esa mudi jane kwa na eye na okoka wanya asem nti se okana no tum nti de bia na wagya ato se okoye adwuma foforo bi arbe ode onsabe ko wa no ye ba ku nti se asafo ne encourage adwomtofo no na adwomtofo no so se ne ana menu ane kan no technology no aba se wusua wankasa bitima advertise wo ho kwan bebiri so a unsem spend this kabebiri se music a me wo ho no SD for me hu SD for bebiri a omo ye registered in good standard na wo music a but we do trainings
young people never no
say see no ye training the last emifitamaleba last week near ye digitization say no how I be use digital tools you betim de enya sika wo yanwuma ye yenu if you say na no tifie kura betum advertise wo ho ama bi mu TikTok no advertise no wanya ehinti na tu nwum na wo ye no mpanimfo wom nti wo yadwum ni wi a na si mu nyina mo yanwuma wo mo nkrofo mo de nwum no ma wo obi ho no ma onye technically but wa so otimu advice ade we de odi we hye kebe yi nti ese wunya mpanifo bi ombetie wudwom no wo video no nyeso fitin na ade aba bonten fama won e wonim de no mu nhwe no ma advice so na wetin say ade we ansa na ade baba bonten na efi bia ni ho then the last one say ese e pese enya award ni betumi enya But let's make a conscious effort. Let's see the music as a business. And Mr. Ahmad Akano. Now, music business, it needs your budgeting, your everything. So I feel we may for TV stations, best a num and then see ya be concert the next year for you, mama. Saturday nkwano pa. Na better see a boys day for you. And also nim ye boy ye modin ka say Lucas nyum ne boy you. We see na we abenti ye nimo. On the mechanu.
So more modern program no pa no jom na ebo we
ye modin ye kane no nkabon say ye bonyum no as Kofi Agyeman and the light seekers. And anyum na ekono ba enente sa ehyem sa ebo na we ebo na ebo. Mimi nda twam anopa no be from 6 to 10 now. One TSD nyum bia o radio bia so ko see the next Sabbath.
Ya kana ye de ekoye wa asore no.
Enti yenye effort. Niye modin se yedwum no ayede aba no ye bono da bia wo TV bia so any radio bia so at any time nye Saturday morning ko
right ya ka bebre in fact nyame nhira mu bebre e wo madwenkyira amode aba nyina minim say Adventist musicians out there etie na minim say going forward no yede eniema betutu akwemu na bibia nso ebekoye amaye. Thank you so much. Nyamisha mu bebre. Minim say ebrefu from no ye besan so ehia. Nyamenka mu nyina mo ho. Ebusia ha na ebre ebema ye kwan ama ende yede discussion no esi. Minim say we sua bebre. Say we ye musician na wo ba happen so a we taking note. Minim say we de kaunjuma ho a ebetimi ama wako enimie pa da sende ye besa so ehia biom. My name is Evelyn Selassie. Stay blessed and stay safe. Bye bye.
Mami ko da mi nyamya si o. Ayeyi o. Mami ko yi mi nyamya yo. Anya yiso ye abro ma de so a. Mami ko da mi nyamya si o. Ashe kam so ma bra bo. Mami ko yi mi nyamya yo. Asida. Mami ko da mi nyamya si o. Ayeyi o. Mami ko yi mi nyamya yo. Anya yiso ye abro ma de so a. Mami ko da mi nyamya si o. Ashe kam so ma bra bo. Mami ko yi mi nyamya yo.